It's recording.
So it's recording what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everybody.
Make it A.
Yay.
Alright, your homework for 1.2 is on page 13. So, your homework is going to be number 1 through 40 and number 44 and 46. So I will do the even numbers for you, and you can go back and do the odds. So when I do the even numbers, skip a space, do number 2, and I'll do 1, 3, 5, etc., etc. So number 1, let's get started. It's 12 to the 7th. So just to copy this down, identify the base. This is the base, which is 12. Identify the exponent. This is your exponent right here, the 7. There you go. Number 1 is done. 2, skip a space so you can do number 2. Number 3. Let's do number 3. Number 3. Describe the error. Okay, you have a negative 3 to the 4th power, and that equals 81. Why is that wrong? Because this 4th power only applies to the number 3, not to that negative. So you have negative 3 times 3 times 3, you do it 4 times. So this right here, when you multiply that 4 times, your answer is 81, but don't forget this negative has to be right here. So your answer is a negative 81. Alright, so skip a space, so you can do number 4, and let's go to number 5. Number 5. You have 3 to the 4th power. We just did that. 3 to the 4th power is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is 81. Skip a space. You do number 6. Number 7, we have 7 squared. That is 7 times 7, which is 49. Alright, skip a space. You do number 8, and I'll do number 9. Number 9, it says negative 2 the 5th. Do you remember that one? The 5th power only refers to the 2. So you do 2 times 2 times 2. You do that 5 times. Sorry. Let's scoot this. I'll scoot it over in just a minute. So multiply that 5 times, and then your answer is a negative 32. That's your answer for number 9. Number 10, you do that one. Number 11. For number 11, we have negative 10 to the 4th. What I want you to notice on number 11, when you have 10 to the 4th, if it's a 10, your base is 10, then you put basically however many zeros there are. So how many zeros should you put? That exponent tells you. So it should be 1 and then 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. So your answer is 10,000, but notice on number 11 that it has a negative here. So your answer is negative 10,000 because that exponent only applies to the 10. Alright, number 12, you do. Number 13, we have a negative 4 to the 3rd power. Now the wonderful thing about this is the negative is in the parentheses, so that means it is negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4. That equals a negative, let me scoot this up a little bit. That equals a negative 4 times 4 times 4 is negative 64. Please make sure you box your answers. Okay? Alright, so now let's go to number 14. That's for you to do. Tricked ya. Alright, number 15. You have a negative 8 squared. Since the negative is in the parentheses, you do negative 8 times negative 8, which is a positive 64. Okay? Alright, so we have done 1 through 15. Now let's do number 17. Erasing this so we can move on. Sorry for the camera moving. Okay, let's do number 17. Number 17 says negative 10f plus 15. And that's when f equals a 2. So that means you take this 2 and put it everywhere you see an f. So negative 10 times 2 plus 15. And remember your, sorry, forgot the E, PEMDAS. Oh, I'm not good at writing. PEMDAS, remember your PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So we do the multiplication first. Negative 10 times 2 is a negative 20. Then you add 15 to that, then your answer is a negative 5. Make sure you box your answer. 18, you get to do. Number 19, we have 5j minus 3j times 5. And that's when j equals 10. So, everywhere you see a j, put in the 10. 5 times 10 minus 3 times 10 times 5. So we do the multiplication first. Here we go. 5 times 10 is 50. And then this negative goes with this number. So negative 3 times 10 times 5. We have a negative 50. And you do that, 50 times negative 3. Or negative 3 times 50. That would be minus 150. So your answer would be a negative 100. Okay? So number 20, you get to do. That's for you. Yay! Okay, let's go back to the top. Now let's go to 21. Notice we're going kind of fast, so if you need to pause, you may pause. Number 21. 8m plus, we have 2m minus 9. That is cubed. And that's when m equals 6. M equals 6. That's your exclude. So everywhere you see an m, you put the number 6. So 8 times 6 plus 2 times 6 minus 9, and you have this cubed. Okay? So, you have it cubed. So remember your PEMDAS, parentheses first. So we need to work what's in here first, okay? So, inside the parentheses, you have a multiplication, so you need to do that first. So 8 times 6 plus, in your parentheses you have 6 times 2, which is 12, minus 9 cubed. You still have to complete what's in the parentheses before you get that exponent done. So, you have 8 times 6 plus, now what's 12 minus 9? 12 minus 9 is 3. So now, if you look back at your PEMDAS, we're done with everything in the parentheses. The next part is your exponent, and that's your exponent. So 3 to the third power is, 3 times 3 is 9, times, this right here is 3 times 3 times 3. Don't make the mistake of saying, that's 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. 8 times 6 is 48. So 48 plus 27, that gives you your answer, 75. Got it? Got it. Alright, that was number 21. Number 22, that's what you can do. So make sure you write a number 22 on your paper. Skip some space, because you're going to turn in 1 through 40. But skip spaces so you can fill in, and I'm doing numbers 1 through 40 odd for you. Number 23, here we go. 2x to the 4th minus 4x cubed, and that's when x equals negative 1. Okay, so let's see what we do for that one. So 2 negative 1 to the 4th minus 4 times negative 1 to the 3rd. Now, one thing I want you to notice on these right here is that when you have inside the parentheses, not outside the parentheses, but inside the parentheses, you have a negative or a positive. It doesn't matter. Whatever this is. Look at your exponent right here. If this exponent right here is an even number, then your answer will be positive. Positive. If it's an odd number, can you guess what that would be? Negative. Okay? So if this was a 5, then it wouldn't be even anymore. It would be odd, because 5 is an odd number, so your answer would be negative. Okay, so keeping that in mind, this is a positive number, so that means your answer is going to be positive. So that's 2 times 1. Alright? Now, here's a negative number, so your answer is going to be negative. So 4 times negative 1. Alright, so let's do the multiplication. 2 times 1 is 2, and then we have a negative 4. Remember, this negative sticks with this 4, so you have a negative 4 times negative 1, which is a positive 5. So your answer is seven. I messed up somewhere. 2 times 1. Oh, 4 times 1 isn't 5. Here you go. Sorry about that. Yes, I get brain parts too. So, anyways, your answer is 6. There we go. Okay. Now let's go to number 25. Remember, you do number 24. So make sure you skip a space and put room for 24 there. Number 25. It says, simplify the expression. Not hard at all. 9x minus 4x plus 5. Simplify means you add it together. You see, here's an x, so you add them together. Well, you put them together. It has a minus, so it's going to be 9 minus 4, which is 5. Don't drop the x. You still have to have the x there. So 9 minus 4 is 5 plus 5. That's your answer right there. That's how you simplify that one. Alright, make room for number 26. Now let's do number 27. Here's 27. Alright, number 27 says 5z squared minus 2z plus 8z squared plus 10. You should be writing these down as I do them, so that way you can turn it in with your work. Alright, so on these ones, you add like terms, okay? That's how you do these. You add like terms. So this one has a square, this one has a square, so that means these are alike. So you have a positive 5 and a positive 8, which is a positive 13. Remember, don't drop the z squared. Now you have here, that one has a z. Are there any more z's? Nope. So you just left with that z, and then plus 10. So now we've used everything. That's your answer. Skip. You do 28, make some room for that. I will do number 29 with you. 29. 7. M minus 3. What do you see on this one? What are you going to use? 5 points to the person who knows. Distributive property. 7 times m is 7m. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. Now let's do this one. 4 times m is 4m, and 4 times 5 is 20. Now you do add like terms. Here's an m, here's an m. 7 plus 4 is 11. Then you have a negative 21 here and a positive 20 here. Put those together, what do you get? Negative 1. That's your answer. Make sure you square your answers, please, because that helps in grading. Don't forget, when you are doing your work, you try to show your work. Just like I've been showing my work, you need to show yours. Okay? Alright, so now, which one did we just do? That was number 29. Let's do 31 now. 31. 4p squared minus 12p minus 9p squared plus 3 times 4p plus 7. Almost ran out of paper there. Okay, so on this one we have, remember our PEMDAS right here. We have to do what's in parentheses first. So let's distribute this. Alright, so 4p squared minus 12p minus 9p squared. When we distribute this, it's 12p, because 3 times 4 is 12. Now let's do this one. Don't forget the p, because that's part of this number right here. So the 4 and the p go together. So 4 times 3 is 12, and then you have the p. Now 3 times 7, 21. Now, the next step is, can you say it? Add like terms. So let's start with the biggest p squared we have. Right here and right here. Do we see any more? Nope, that's it. So put these together. Negative 9 and a 4 is negative 5. So use those. Let's go to the next one. Looky here. This is a minus 12. This is a plus 12. When you have a minus and a plus and the exact same number and the exact same letters right next to it, they cancel each other out because a positive 12 and a negative 12 equals 0. And when we multiply a 0 times p, this is what it looks like. 0 times p is 0. Since it's 0, you don't really need to write anything there. 0, you don't write zeros down. So they cancel out. So just mark them out. And you're left with a positive 21. So that's your answer. 32, you get to do. Let's go to 33. Remember to skip your space when you do number 32. Alright, for number 33, which terms are like terms? If you look at that, you have 2x and 2y. You notice this is an x and this is a y. So that's not the same. Those are not like terms. The next one you have 3x squared and 4x. This is an x squared, this is an x. Those are not like terms because they're not the same. That has a square, that one doesn't. So continue looking on number 33. Which one do you see is the same? I see letter D. That one is the same. We have 10x cubed and 2x cubed. Look, exactly the same. X cubed, x cubed. So that's your correct answer. Make a space for number 34, but we're moving on to 35. So on number 35, you have a rectangle. Oh, I have to move up. Hold on. Number 35. You have a rectangle. And then it says here that this is 4n and this is n plus 12. And your directions are to write a simplified expression for the perimeter of the figure. So let's do that first. Our simplified expression. When you are writing this, that means how do you add up all this using this information, the n plus 12 and 4n? How do you find the perimeter? Well, we know that this 4 is 4n, so then this side has to be 4n. This is n plus 12, so this has to be n plus 12. So to find the perimeter, how do you find the perimeter? You add up all the sides. So let's do that. Let's add up all the sides. You have 4n plus n plus 12 plus 4n plus the last side here is n plus 12. Now you go ahead and add up all the sides. Okay, this is not simplified, because simplified means you need to add all your like terms. So let's add up everything that has an n. How many n's do we have here? There's 4 here, 1 here, 4 here, 1 here. So 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So we have 10 n's. I'll show you again. 4, even though you don't see it, there's a 1 here. So 4 plus 1 plus 4 plus 1 is 10. So we've done all the n's. Now what are we left with? A 12 here and a 12 here. So that's plus 24. So that is your simplified expression right here. 10n plus 24. Okay, so now the next thing you're asked to do is evaluate. So let's evaluate. Evaluate when n equals 2. When n equals 2, and you evaluate, it means you're going to put the 2 where you see the n. So 10 times 2 plus 24, that is, what's 10 times 2? 20 plus 24, that equals 44. So that's your answer. Right here is your simplified expression. Right here is when you evaluate when n equals 2. Alright, so leave room for number 36, because you're going to do number 36. And now I'm going to do number 37. We're almost done. Number 37. 5x plus 6y. When x equals 16, and what else? Y equals negative 9. So that means, on this one it says evaluate the expression for the given values of x and y. So evaluate, if you remember, means to actually plug it in and see what the answers are. That's what it means to evaluate. So evaluate, let me just write this down so you can remember. Plug it in. That's what evaluate means. Plug it in and find the answer. Alright, so everywhere you see an x, put a 16. Everywhere you see a y, you put a negative 9. 5 times 16 is 80 plus, oh, it's not going to be plus, because 6 times a negative 9 is a negative 56. I'm sorry, 54. So 80 minus 54 is 26. So that's your answer for that one. Alright. 38. Skip a space. You're doing number 38. Number 39. This is the last one I'm doing with you. X cubed plus 5y when x equals 4, and what else? And y equals negative 3. Alright, so we have x cubed. Everywhere you see an x, you put a 4. 4 cubed plus 5 times y, negative 3. Alright, what is 4 cubed? 4 cubed is 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16 times 4. The answer is 64. So 64, and then 5 times negative 3 is minus 15. So your answer here is, on number 39, your answer is 49. Okay? So now you do number 40. And for number 44 and 46, that's the last two of your homework. All you do is simplify, which means you add like terms. So if you have 16c plus 17c, add the 16 and 17 together. And then you would have 23c. But if you have, let me go down so you can see this. If you have, let me just repeat, if you have a 16c plus a 17c, add these two together because it has this, they're like terms. That means these two things are exactly alike. So 16 plus 17, oh, it's not 23. Sorry, it's 33. So that's 33c. But if I had a plus 2d here and a plus 3d, then I would add these two together because these two are exactly alike. That has a d, that has a d. So that would be plus 5d. Alright? Now if this had squared on it, then this would be 33c squared. But they'd have to be exactly the same in order to add it. You cannot add, let me write this down. You cannot add, if it says 7c squared plus 3c, that one has a 2, this one doesn't. So these are not alike. And the thing that we're doing here is adding like terms, which means they have to be exactly alike, exactly the same. So these two cannot be added together. But if I had here a 2c, then I could add those together. I could put 7c squared and then add these two, the 3c and the 2c. That would be 5c. Alright, so finish your homework. Get it in. Good luck.